Trump is panicking right now as the New York Times exposed him with an alarming bombshell report about how he's making his cabinet picks. And this report highlights two very telling points that we need to talk about. So in this video, we're going to dive into this new bombshell report, but before that, I want to highlight just how unpopular Trump's picks have truly been. Because Fox News, of all places, was just bashing Matt Gaetz, and when you've lost Fox News, you know it's bad. So take a look at these clips.
Yeah, the overwhelming majority of his picks will sail through because they were Grand Slam picks. But to Molly's point, you don't root out corruption at the Department of Justice by picking a corrupt person to lead it. So Matt Gaetz, either the report comes out and he's not going to be the Attorney General, or the report doesn't come out and he's not going to be the Attorney General. I mean, the problem, Brett, is all the good picks, John Lee Ratcliffe, Elise Stefanik, Lee Zeldin, Mike Waltz, all the good picks, nobody's talking about those right now. They're talking about this wild card pick of someone who had to get out of the House to avoid being sanctioned by the House Ethics Committee. That dumbfounding pick is just sucking the oxygen out of all the good ones he made.
You are referring to the situation with the report in the House Ethics Committee. Johnson, well, we'll see. I think, like I said at the beginning, a lot of these senators want to get most of these through, if not all, that they can. Trey, I'll give you last word on this about Molly's point about the DOJ not going forward, the FBI not going forward with charges against Gaetz.
With all due respect to Molly, I was there for it. If you want to give credit to somebody, give it to Kash Patel, Jim Jordan, John Ratcliffe, James Comer. Don't give it to the guy that was out putting on makeup while other people were doing the investigation. He just picked Jay Clayton. He just picked Todd Blanche, both of whom would be fantastic. They would do exactly what you wanted done. You don't have to pick between character and competency. You can actually have both in a nominee, but Gaetz doesn't have both.
All right, let me ask this. Back to our cabinet casino. If you have $100 in chips, this isn't audible, what percentage of those chips are you putting down that at least one of these cabinet nominees does not make it through? Trey.
Can I give more than 100? Everything I have. I talk to senators all the time. One of them is not going to get through.
Because you're confident that the head count is not there?
The head count is not even 50-50 on one of them. One of them can't even get half the Republican senators. But I'll let you guess from our earlier discussion who that might be.
I sense where that's going with you. Okay, Molly.
When you have even the Republican Party not liking who you're picking, you know that Trump's made a bad decision. But why did he make this decision in the first place? Well, that's exactly what this New York Times bombshell details. So let's take a look at this article. Under the chandelier at Mar-a-Lago, Trump makes picks at breakneck speed. President-elect Donald Trump chose his attorney almost on a whim in the sky between Washington and Palm Beach, Florida. He scoffed at a candidate for the Department of Homeland Security, then abruptly changed his mind. His defense secretary pick was a snap judgment during a slide presentation at Mar-a-Lago. Emboldened, confident in his instincts, and more contemptuous than ever of Washington expertise, Trump is staffing the most important roles in his government at breakneck speed. Advisors have been stunned at how fast he's ticking through his choices, filling the government's most important positions roughly a month sooner than he did in 2016. And here is the first important part of this bombshell report. Much of the action has taken place under the chandelier in the Teach Room at Mar-a-Lago, where Trump surveys his potential cabinet nominees on a giant video screen. He flicks through short lists that his transition team, led by billionaire Howard Lutnick, has drafted over the past months. If Trump shows an interest in a candidate, the presentation is designed to allow him to immediately watch videos of the potential nominees' TV appearances, essential for any would-be Trump cabinet official. So there's a couple things about this that are pretty damning. Firstly, this is all compiled by this billionaire. Trump, I guess, just doesn't even know who any of these people are, or if he does, just very little about them. But what really gets me is he has his own Tinder for his cabinet picks. He's flicking through these short lists of different people, and he's like, oh, nope, don't like this guy. This guy isn't interesting. Oh, this guy's kind of interesting. Let me pull up videos to see how loyal he is to me. This is absolutely insane. This guy is literally using a Tinder clone, but for his cabinet picks. Now, I'm sure it doesn't actually look like Tinder. I'm just saying it's kind of weird how he just scrolls through and looks at different people that he might find interesting and then looks at videos if he finds them interesting, especially since I'm sure he's only getting a small brief description of each person, which it should be a full detailed report to make his full pick. But then after the small description, if he finds it interesting, he just looks at videos as to how loyal they are, I guess. It is embarrassing that this is what the President of the United States is doing to pick his team. The president-elect is picking people he considers true loyalists, with little regard of whether they can pass Senate confirmation. This is exactly what we've been trying to say, and that's exactly what's happening. Now, this article goes into a few more details as to specific candidates, but we're gonna skim over that because I'm sure a lot of us already know about that. But I want to scroll down to the bottom of this article because it mentions another really damning point that nobody is talking about. Even with the differences since 2016, all signs so far indicate that the 78-year-old president-elect is sticking to some of his old habits. It sometimes seems to his staff as if half of the world now has Trump's cell phone number. Ever since becoming the president-elect, he seems willing to take every call, even calls from unknown foreign numbers. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't think a president or president-elect regardless should be taking calls from foreign unknown numbers. At least have a secretary or someone vet them first. This is the man that's supposed to be one of the most powerful men in the entire world, but yet he's just answering any call that comes his way? That is absolutely insane and just shows you how little care Trump has for our national security. But overall, it hasn't even been a month since being elected and he's already causing chaos in the government. How people are okay with someone choosing pics from what is essentially his version of Tinder while calling unknown people from overseas is just beyond me. But Republicans will either call it fake news or say that that's what a strong leader does, because they are completely delusional. I just hope that they can wake up soon and realize that electing Trump was the dumbest thing that they've ever done.